and welcome back here to Crypto Hulk channel. I'm a little bit late, 12 minutes. I was researching more crypto stuff, lost track of time. I'm like, oh damn, supposed to be on at 1:30. So I realize it's a national holiday in the United States. So a lot of the people that I know are not going to be here. That's fine. Nosy Parker's here, so I guess we can start the show, right? Oh, dang. So, I will make a short little program. I mean, not a short program, but we'll have a small group today. That'll be fine. The information's still going to be just as good, just as relevant. What I'm probably going to do right here is just kind of wait a minute or so more, maybe two, for some people to show up and then get into the show. So my name's Crypto Hulk. I provide a cryptocurrency program that is, low level complicatedness to about like medium, something like that. This program is designed where you could talk to somebody about the program, where they could understand. We're not going to get into specifics. We're not going to talk about chart graphs or anything because I don't know anything about that. And the one thing I do know is that I don't even care about that shit. This program is about real world utility. What are the big companies doing? What are the big trends that are happening? Just stuff like that. So, let me see if I can get a moderator in here. Everybody's like gone today. It might be a one-man show. Let's see who we got in here. Rico Force. Happy Independence Day. Yes. XRP Daddy is here. Rico Force again. Okay, I got a moderator. I have a latte. All right. Dry Biscuit says that this program's a legend. I don't know about that, but you know what? E-Bomb is here. Okay. E-Bomb's like, no, I was here first. Well, it doesn't show up on my list. Liar. Oh, yeah. There's a fake person named Pinned by Crypto Hulk. So that person is fake. So, it was hidden by Avalate. Okay, yeah. E-Bomb says, I'm always first. Oh, dang. That's all good information. And what the world's moving, stuff's starting to move. I remember when I got into crypto over a year ago. It was about 15 months. Yeah, about 15 months ago. Almost all the news was like old stuff, like from 3 years ago or something, because there really wasn't anything going on 15 months ago. A little bit here and there and stuff, yeah. But now finding stuff that's important for the crypto space is easy. It's like, man, every day something's popping off, And it wasn't doing that when I first invested. I mean, the XRP was at 15 cents. It's pretty boring in the crypto space. Ain't nothing going on, Then now it's just like, boom, every day this, boom, next day that, 2 or 3, boom, boom, boom. News articles come out, one day. So it's just like a lot of stuff. We don't let the price fool us here. We look at what's going on down below the surface, okay? We look at the banks that are dropping in 100 million, 300 million, 2.3 billion on either crypto or getting their crypto exchange funds set up. Yeah, and getting the technology and everything. Oh, yeah. Like, I've never seen this much news about all this kind of stuff going on as much as the past even 6 months, 3 months even. Like, man, it's crazy now. And, even like the past 3 months, yeah, big stuff is happening. Big meaning I'm seeing the whole structure, the infrastructure of crypto just being built all around, all these different countries, companies getting all set up. That's what I'm seeing. So what we're going to do today is focus on, I'll go through one or two news stories, depends on how much time we got and how I'm feeling. The first one, the reason I'm reading off these stories is so you know what's going on, okay? Because if I read a story, there's a reason for it. Not just, okay, I'm reading this damn story, I've got to burn up 30 minutes or something. Each news story that I put on this channel, I feel is important to understand, because when you understand the different news stories that I bring up, then you look around the world and be like, oh yeah, there is stuff going on in the crypto market. You just don't see it in the price right now. It's kind of like when you invest. In the very beginning, the price is low, and then you got to wait time. Whether it's invest in your education, invest in your business. Like my brother's a mechanic. He wasn't making a whole lot of money the first 5 years or 10 years. But after like 10 years hits, then boom, the income starts really coming in, okay? That's just life. So the immature investor, those people that just want to hear, oh, how much is XRP going? Like, another reason I made this program today is because I was listening to the same people you do, and they try to do the hype thing and bring in, yeah, XRP is going to be like $10 to $50, no, $30 or something. They start talking about price stuff because they're too fucking lazy to go get news, because the people that give them news didn't give them any news. So then they got to bring up shit from like 3-4 years ago or whatever, talk about price analysis because their channel's fucking broke, all right? So today, we're talking about Europe. So here we go. Europe needs to regulate crypto as quickly as possible, says Bank de France governor. So the governor of the Bank of France is like, we need to get crypto regulation done quickly. Okay? Are you hearing a common theme about regulation? It's coming from all over the place now, right? Do you see that trend? And if not, I'm telling you right now, the trend is all of a sudden now countries are talking about regulation. Why the fuck would nobody talk about regulations 3 months ago, 6 months ago, barely? A year ago when I was getting into this, no one's even talking about regulation at all. But all of a sudden now, I'd say the past month and a half, we're hearing country after whatever start talking, we need to regulate. Like, for some reason, all of a sudden, someone switched on the regulation sign. Have you noticed that? I have. Let me continue. The governor sounded a note of caution that Europe's monetary sovereignty faces tough times if the EU does not regulate. The French governor guy is basically saying our money is going to be in big fucking trouble if we don't get this done quick. He's sounding the alarm. He's flipping on the light switch that says regulatory stuff on crypto needs to happen. I'm telling you guys, it's starting to move right now, okay? And that's MOVE, not MOON. That'll come later. So don't get your hopes up just yet. Here's what the French governor says. Without fast action, the international role of the euro would be endangered. He's saying we need to act on this fast because the euro, which is our money, is going to go down, okay? Like, he is really putting this out there. He is trying to get all the European banks and countries in on this, like, right away, okay? And that's why I'm reading you this article, because you're going to see this picking up real quick now, okay? This all started, I never heard this shit 15 months ago. I never heard this shit 6 months ago. I never heard any of this stuff 3 months ago. Like I said, now all of a sudden, the past month and a half, keep your eyes open and your ears, because you're going to see all this regulation. It's coming. It's really coming right now, okay? This is what we needed to get price action, okay? There ain't gonna, don't watch these stupid fucking shows that are trying to tell you about, oh, yeah, next week we should see a price. Don't. Let's stop making YouTube videos. I know a lot of these little assholes watch my channel. Stop making videos, trying to do the hype shit. Teach your viewers what the fuck is really going on in the world so that they're smarter investors, that they're smarter and they can watch what's going on in the world. Okay, that's what I do on this channel. There's no fucking hype on this channel. I just show you exactly what's going on, and I'm doing it right now because it's about to go down in Europe. You got France talking about it, and I'll tell you what, another week or two, you're going to have probably 5 to 8 other countries. You watch, and I'll call that right now, okay? I don't need to have a fucking chart in front of me for that. It's called, oh, common sense in the fucking head, all right? The French bank governor says Europe must be ready. That's what he says. He said the EU needs to build a regulatory framework around crypto to protect the EU money. He's making it sound like we got to get this done or we're going to be in a real fucking problem, okay? I'm just kind of like breaking it down in my words because that's how I make sense of this shit. He also says whether it's digital currency or payments, we in Europe must be ready to act, listen, as quickly as possible. Oh, shit. You hear that? Or take the risk of an erosion or a destruction of our money. He's saying this, I'm going to repeat it again. We've got to act as quickly as possible, or the EU money is going down, okay? You watch. Crypto Hulk is calling this right now. In a week or two, you're going to have at least 5 more countries saying the same fucking thing. You got England already. Now we got France. You watch. Another week, 2, I bet you have 5 to 8 more countries all up in this regulation thing, okay? Regulation is going to be good and it's going to be bad, but it's going to, in the end, we're going to be rich, okay? So let's just focus on some positive shit right now. All right. So here's what else the president of the French bank says. Governor, president, whatever, same fucking thing. The performance of the euro threatened if the EU does not step up regulatory changes. He is saying, again, he's using the word threatened. He's saying the EU money will be threatened if we don't get regulatory changes done. He is really putting that out there. Like, he's ringing the bell, sounding the alarm. You watch. You're going to hear it here on my channel. I'm calling all these European companies or countries are going to start falling in line just like this. All of a sudden, like, boom. Every day now for the next, or every day or two now, we're going to hear another country saying, yeah, we need regulation. Another one, but it's going to spread. Okay? That's how this is going to work. In the French bank's opinion, he says the move should be implemented in the upcoming months. He's talking in the upcoming months, not years, months, okay? Oh, yeah. The continent would lose its momentum. He's saying the whole European continent, he's really calling it out right now. He's saying our whole continent is going to just slow right down and lose momentum. He's trying to get all these other European countries to flip the light switch on that says regulations, okay? And regulations will bring riches, all right? He says this. This is a big one. He says, I must stress the urgency. He's saying it, he's stressing that it's urgent. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see now in the next 1 to 2 weeks, Crypto Hulk calling it a firestorm of regulations, okay? You don't see it right now, but I'm telling you, because I always tell you in advance all the shit that's going to go down, you're going to see this real soon. He is stressing the urgency of this. We don't have much time left, he says. We don't have much time. He's trying to stress the urgency, okay? It's not going to take a long time. Another guy for that bank, his name is Robert Ophel, and he's the French AMF, something monetary, whatever, I don't know. He says, now he's the balance. Remember, the one French guy, the president of the bank, is pushing for regulation, but Robert Ophel says, but if we're too strict, if we over-regulate, that's going to drive away crypto-based businesses out of our continent of Europe. So now they have this balance thing going on, like the one guy wants regs, but the other one says, hey, we need to be smart about the regulations because we're going to scare away all the money. Exactly, right? Hope you guys are getting this. This stuff is big. So now we're seeing a picture. I'm trying to draw you a picture so you see what the fuck's going on, okay, in the world. Right now we're talking about Europe. They know that this crypto thing, they've got to do it now. It's got to get done now. The regulations got to get done now. I've already explained in like 7 different things this guy said. Now somebody else who's French is like, yep, okay, but we got to do this smart because we don't want to fucking blow it. If we blow it and make it too tough, the crypto companies will go somewhere else. And then we'll be fucking broke. They know they've got to act on this fast, and they got to bring in the money, but not scare it away. But they can't have a fucking free-for-all where everybody, is just, because that's going to destroy their money. It will destroy their money. So they're going to come up with regulations that keep the crypto in check. I'm just letting you know, it's a very exciting time now. If all you're doing is looking at price, like a dumbass, okay, it's not going to seem exciting. When I'm reading this news, this sounds very exciting to me because it's coming and I can see it. This guy, this French president of the bank, is sounding the alarm. We've got to do this now. That's what he's saying. I remember last week I reported on the same French guy, and he was kind of pushing it. He was kind of pushing it then. Now he's really pushing it. There's a difference. Like just from a week ago, now he's like desperate, okay? A week ago, when I was reporting on the French viceroy, I think his name is, or some viceroy or whatever his name is. I didn't write down the name of the president today because I just didn't want to. But last week, he was like, yeah, we're going to look into testing cryptos. Now he's like, we've got to get these regs done now. And that's just 1 week's time. So I'm telling you, in 1 to 2 more weeks, you're going to see probably, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 European countries like, yep. Oh, we need to do this shit. We need to regulate the fuck out of this. But also, we don't want to scare businesses off at the same time. Now, the second guy, Robert Ophel, he's the one that wants a balance, okay? He said he proposes for a pilot regime which we could waive some of the provisions of existing regulations. So this guy, he's the brains of this deal. This Robert Ophel that works for the French AMF, he's a fucking genius, okay? He knows the future. What he wants is this. And it reminds me, and I'll check it out. Okay, so what he wants is to kind of ease up on these crypto rules in certain ways, allow the innovation to come in, give them a short period of time, like a sandbox to play in, a sandbox with rules, but then they're kind of backed off a little to allow stuff to get moving. And once stuff gets moving, then they kind of clamp down and kind of control shit so the party doesn't, you want to have a party. I've been to some parties, well, let's say when I was in high school, my senior year, and it didn't take too long for all the cops to show up and break the party up, right? I used to think that, you'd pay $10 to get in and you got 100 people there. And then all of a sudden the owner calls the cops and gets everybody kicked out of the house. And they just They just make a ton of money. All right. Why did I bring that up? No, because French, the guy named Robert Ophel, he knows you want to bring all the people in for the party, but you got to have rules in that party or it's going to get all busted up because somebody's going to get drunk, start punching somebody, or he's going to do something crazy to somebody else. So that's kind of like what Robert's doing. He's like, you know what? We want to have a good time, want to have this party thing, but we got to have certain rules, but not too strict because then you'll have a really boring party. Like if your parents are at the party, no, if all the parents of the kids are at the party, no one's going to have any fun. Okay? Now, it kind of reminds me, I think this will be the end of this particular news story. Let me see. Yeah, okay. It reminds me of Hester Pierce. Now, Hester Pierce works for the SEC right now. She's brilliant. She knows how to make a success with crypto. She's also known as Crypto Mom. And she said, we need a regulatory sandbox, just like this guy. Wow, I wonder if they've talked, right? I wonder if they've had a little chat together. She said that we need to have a regulatory sandbox where innovators can come in, get stuff going. Maybe you give them 3 years before you start calling them a security or before you tax them or whatever. You give them a chance to get going and see what they actually got, right? Hester Pierce says that. Tom Emmer, he's a congressman, Tom Emmer in the United States. He also is kind of saying the same thing. We got to let this innovation grow. We've got to, make it easy for companies. We don't want to scare them off, but we don't want to free for all at the same time. So that's kind of what he says. And so that would be the first news story. Let me check some comments. But that was very encouraging seeing that. Toronto is here. I had to get rid of somebody. Hold on. Okay. Tell it how it is, Hulk. So L. Clooney says, tell it how it is. I want to focus my comments mainly just on the Europe-French story. If I don't see anything that relates to that, then I'll just kind of skip over those comments. Trade my crypto. Let's see, starting guide. Europe will move together. Corky B says Europe will move together. That's exactly right. And that's why I'm telling you about this news story. You got England that was having problems with regulations with Binance. And now it appears that the French are really pushing regulation. It's going to spread. They're all going to move together. And that's a big deal when you start really understanding what's going on. That'll help you to understand where we are as far as, like, you ain't going to get rich unless you get regulations. And once the regulations get put in, then the banks, a lot of them are already buying and getting their crypto stuff set up. Once the regulations come in, then boom, 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 boom. Stores and exchanges start popping up, regulated ones, and that's when the price starts going up at that point, okay? So that's why I talk about what the hell is going on in Europe today, because when you understand what I'm talking about, then you understand, oh, damn, the more we get closer to regulation, the closer we're going to be to get rich, okay? And I've already told you this about all these banks and shit and buying the crypto. I've mentioned before, 100 million from this one, 58 million from another. This one investment corporation dumps 300 million. This other one dumps 2.2 billion. They're doing all this right now. They're doing all this right now because they know that regulations are coming, and then it's boom, light switch. Got it? That's why I'm reading off all this stuff to you, so you get a big picture. I don't care what the price of gold is. I don't care what I'm telling you what you need to focus on to be a mature, smart investor. I'm reading off business after business after business, dumping hundreds and hundreds. They're not dumping that shit in for no fucking reason. They're dumping it in because they're waiting for regulations. And especially once the regulations hit, the people that are already there, it's like light switch. They're making millions and billions and trillions. And then all the slow pokes that were like, oh, we're going to wait for regulations. Maybe we don't want to start. Those are going to be the slow pokes that miss out. In the very beginning, that's why I'm reading off these stories about this big corporation starting this investment fund, and raising money for a Series 8 or whatever. So these are the first companies that get in on this are going to make just a shit ton of money. Why? Because there's no competition. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right now, there's no... Hell, most people right now are afraid of XRP. That's why the price is 60-something cents. They're afraid of all these fucking cryptos, right? All of them. The ISO 20022s. Crypto Hulk viewers better not be afraid, because I read off all these damn stories trying to show you what the hell is going on. Okay? The big investment houses are buying the shit up. They're getting all their stuff ready. They're getting their technology ready. They're trying to get their licensing and this and that. So when the regulations come, light switch on, bingo, prices just boom, start going up. And then all these other banks and institutions that were like, oh, well, fuck, we shouldn't have waited. Yeah, you're behind now. That's why I read off the certain news stories. Corky B says England has left the EU. Yeah, I mean, that's old news. I think they applied for that like 2 years ago or more. But England, like I've already told you over and over, they're already a Ripple partner. The Bank of England is like in bed with Ripple. Same thing with like France. Like all of them are in bed with Ripple. I'm just letting you know, okay? Some of them just don't want to admit it right now, so they're going to they're going to have a coming out party, okay? And they're all going to come out eventually and say that they're Ripple partners, okay? The next news story I got is about the same lady at the SEC, Hester Pierce. And I'm reading this one off because some people are like, well, why is the price so low? And there's a couple of reasons. We already talked about one. There needs to be regulations. And we're in a speculative market. And there's not a big use case. There's not a big use case because banks are afraid, should they use XRP or not? Or is it a security or what the fuck is it? And da-da-da-da. It seems like there's a delay in regulations. This next news story I'm going to tell you, we're going to go over that. You're going to be very smart. You're going to be very savvy. When you watch these videos that I make, you're going to know exactly what the fuck's going on in the real world. And then you'll be able to know why prices are so cheap now and it's a time to buy. So while I'm saying that, my name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything about financial advising. I don't know anything about crypto. I lie all the time in this channel. Don't believe a fucking word I say. And if you get wrecked because you're like, oh, Crypto Hulk, I bought this because you said, then it sucks being you. Call my lawyer, 1-800-EAT-SHIT. Tell him your fucking problems, and he's going to laugh in your face, okay? So the next news story is the SEC should have approved a Bitcoin ETF already, says Hester Pierce. So Hester Pierce, who's way high up at the SEC, she's telling it like it is. I'm actually shocked. They don't shut her up. I don't want them to, because she's brilliant. She knows what's going on. I know that she's honest. The other clowns that used to work for the SEC, Jay Clayton and William Hinman, those two guys are fucking crooks. Hester Pierce, she's honest and she's smart. She says this: the SEC should have already given Bitcoin the green light for an ETF, and I think it's called electronically traded fund. There's these businesses right now that want to sell a Bitcoin ETF. So far, the SEC says no. Or actually, they haven't said no. You know what's even worse? They just haven't said anything. Amazing. It's just like a scam, a total scam, okay? She said Bitcoin should have been allowed to have an ETF years ago. Years ago, she said. Well, why didn't Jay Clayton and his little butt buddy allow it? They never said anything about it. That's the thing. They don't want to give a regulate. They don't want to say nothing because I think they were doing a bunch of illegal stuff so they could make millions, which they did. There should be an investigation on that too. She says the reasons the SEC in the past, they gave reasons why they wouldn't do it. She said those are bad reasons. Hester, I'm shocked with Hester Pierce. She just comes out and says it. She's not a fucking afraid. She ought to go up, come on this show with me. And I'm probably too vulgar for her, my mouth. But I also will say whatever because I don't give a fuck if YouTube try, which they do. YouTube fucks with my channel. So I always have to give YouTube and all their stupid fucking employees a middle finger. So, for your information, do you see a trend starting? Like, remember bank after bank investing hundreds and hundreds of millions of shit into these Bitcoin things. I've read it off to you where they're investing hundreds of millions and stuff. So I'm just wondering why are all these investment funds just dumping the hundreds of millions? They're not selling their ETFs. Why are they doing all that? I keep reading off all these stories. Why are they doing that? That's a question. Have you been hearing about country after country now talking about regulations? What about Iran? The country of Iran is now talking about crypto, like allowing crypto and regulating it in their Islamic Republic. Man, are we getting close? Like we are getting, when Iran, and anything I've studied about Islamic, they don't really like science type things because they, whatever it might be, they consider it evil or whatever. Or, you know, they're kind of funny about certain kinds of science or technology kind of stuff. But with this, I was reading and I saw today, Iran's like, hey, we need to allow crypto in, but we need to kind of have some regulations on it. I was shocked. That means, you guys, crypto is coming very fast to a country near you. Hester Pierce says the biggest, most asked questions she gets is when, Hester, will there be a Bitcoin ETF? She said that's all she's ever asked. And I find that very interesting. She says the SEC excuses all these years are getting old. Hester Pierce says the SEC and all their stupid excuses, it's getting old. She has no reason why no ETF for Bitcoin has been available for sale in the United States. She has no reason. Like, nobody can give her a fucking reason for that in the SEC. It's like this big mystery. Like, nobody knows shit, you know? She says, with each passing day, the rationale that the SEC used in the past for not approving Bitcoin ETFs or other ETFs, you said it's getting weaker. Their excuses are getting weaker, and it almost seems like they don't want to for some reason, you know? People are starting to ask now. The SEC is starting to get under a lot of pressure, you guys. The pressure's heating up. Something is coming. That's why I'm reading off these stories, not because I'm fucking bored. It's like I'm trying to let you see things that now the SEC employee, Hester Pierce, is asking that same fucking question. And she works for the SEC. I'm like, oh my God. So you know that there's tons of pressure right now. Gary Gensler is going to have to do something, okay? She says the regulators have an old school approach as they are not used to reviewing modern innovation and development. She's saying basically the SEC, they're still stuck back in the 1940s or whatever with the Howey test. Hester Pierce is basically saying the SEC needs to wake the fuck up and get with the modern technology because they're seriously losing this game. Also, what she says is this. Now, this is interesting. She says the SEC has received numerous applications for companies wanting an ETF, and almost all of them have been rejected. See, the SEC in the past would just reject anything crypto unless Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman could make money off it, millions off it. If those two guys couldn't make money, the SEC would be like, nope, can't do this. Nope, can't do that. But they never would give you a reason. Or the reason they gave you, according to Hester Pierce, was like the stupidest fucking reason. So it basically wasn't a reason. I'm just kind of wondering after this story. So now I'm done with that news story. But like, why the delay? Why has the SEC delayed allowing crypto shit? Why has it rejected applications? Hester Pierce doesn't know. She works for the SEC. She does not know. Doesn't that seem kind of strange? And she ain't like a little person. She's like a big dog at the SEC. She has no fucking reason why this crypto market has not moved forward. The SEC is holding it back. Do you think maybe it comes from the three little pigs? JP Morgan, Citibank, and Household. Maybe they need to play catch up. Maybe the SEC was purposely not allowing shit to happen. So the three little pigs that I always keep talking about from the day I started this show, the three fucking little pigs are probably paying off the SEC and the government because they're behind and they need to catch up. Maybe you think that's the reason why no crypto regulations have happened since ever. I think the SEC is waiting for all their buddies to get ready. That's what I honestly feel. You know, people will come up to me, my friends that know me, restaurant owners and this and that, and they'll be like, hey, why is it taking so long? And, da, 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 da. And I'm kind of like, well, just like what I say is that I think the SEC has purposely shut everything down because they're being bribed. And now these big companies, Citibank, JP Morgan, and Household Savings Bank, they can't bribe these people anymore. And America is starting to ask, and Hester Pierce, who works for the SEC, is starting to ask, why the fuck is it taking so long? That's what I'm saying. I think it's bribery, and I think there's a lot of shady stuff that was happening with Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman. That's what I think. And that the banks, the three banks, were bribing the government regulators, and they were bribing the SEC to just stop it all so they can make money. And then once they've decided, okay, we've now got to realize that this crypto stuff is going to move. And then I think right now is when JP Morgan, Citibank, and Household are now getting their shit together. They're trying to catch up because all these other companies are ready to go, like Grayscale, all these big companies, Morgan Stanley, Andreessen, Horowitz, like all these big ass companies. But the three fucking little pigs are slow because they've been bribing everybody, and they realize, oh shit, we now got to get involved with this. That's what I think. So that'll be the end of this show for today. No, I actually got another one for later I'm working on right now. Right now it's 2:30. I think maybe at about 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m., I'm going to have another show. And one of the topics is, let's see, we're talking about Pakistan. I got to do some research on Pakistan, and then I think, oh, and another one about how Ripple right now is ignoring the courts. The court kind of told Ripple to not do something, and Ripple's just like, we're doing it anyway. And I found that very interesting. We'll go over that at about 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and that'll be the end of the first show for today. I'll read the comment section here when I'm done, and I'll read the live chat as well. See you in the next one.